Welcome back everyone to this exciting and eye-opening journey into the fascinating world of rare coins and hidden treasures where a simple piece of change that once passed through the hands of millions can today hold unimaginable value. Today we are diving deep into the story, the history, and the extraordinary worth of the Liberty 1-cent coin from the year 1983 with the D Mint mark. You may be surprised to hear that this very coin, a coin that was once used in daily life without a second thought, can now be valued in the market at an astonishing $149 million. Yes, you heard it correctly, a single penny minted in Denver in 1983 carries such incredible significance and worth that it has become one of the most talked about and sought after treasures among collectors worldwide. To understand why this coin is so important, we must go back in time to the early 1980s in the United States. In 1982, the U.S. Mint made a major change in the production of the penny. Before that year, pennies were made mostly of copper. Each coin contained about 95% copper and 5% zinc, making them relatively heavy and more expensive to produce as the cost of copper rose dramatically. To save money, the mint decided to switch the composition of the penny to primarily zinc with just a thin layer of copper plating. This change took place in 1982, which makes 1983 one of the very first full production years of the new composition pennies. Because of that, the 1983 pennies have a special place in history as they represent the transition into a modern era of coinage where cost efficiency became a priority. The 1983 D Liberty 1 cent was struck at the Denver Mint, one of the busiest mints in America, producing billions of coins every year. But not all coins are created equal. Some carry rare characteristics, minting errors, or simply survive the passage of time in nearly perfect condition, making them stand out from the crowd. The Denver minted pennies of 1983 were struck on the new zinc planchets coated with copper, and this new method introduced some problems that were not common before. Because zinc is softer and more reactive than copper, many of these coins experienced plating issues, die cracks, double dies, and other rare minting mistakes. These unusual features turned some of the coins into treasures worth far more than their face value. Collectors pay special attention to coins that have minting errors such as double dies, where the design appears slightly repeated due to a misalignment in the minting process. Some 1983 pennies have shown doubling in areas like the date, the word liberty, or the motto "In God We Trust." Others have unique reverse errors where the Lincoln Memorial appears distorted or doubled. Even small variations like an off-center strike or broad strike error can make these coins extremely valuable. Now let us talk about the record-breaking value of the 1983 D Liberty 1 cent. Over time, a few of these coins have been discovered in such rare conditions and with unique characteristics that they have been auctioned for astronomical amounts of money. The market value today for the most pristine and rare version of the 1983 D penny has been estimated at $149 million. Such an incredible valuation comes not only from its rarity and condition but also from the sheer historical importance attached to it. Imagine holding in your hand a coin that was made to be worth just 1 cent but today rivals the price of luxury mansions, rare diamonds, or even private islands. This coin has captured the imagination of both professional numismatists and casual collectors alike. Auction houses have reported record-breaking bids whenever one of these rare examples surfaces. Wealthy investors from around the world have competed to own a piece of history, driving up the value to levels that most people can hardly believe. What makes this story even more fascinating is that millions of 1983 D pennies were minted, and yet only a tiny fraction have survived in mint state or with the rare characteristics that bring such high prices. Most of these coins have been spent, worn down, or simply discarded over the decades. But hidden among them are those few exceptional pieces that today stand as treasures worth millions. This means that even now people search through jars of old pennies, coin rolls from banks, or inherited collections hoping to stumble upon a 1983 D Liberty cent that could change their lives forever. Collectors emphasize the importance of condition when evaluating this coin. A 1983 penny in average circulated condition may be worth only a few cents, but in uncirculated mint state with no wear, sharp details, and bright luster the value increases dramatically. If combined with a rare error such as a double die or an unusual planchet mistake, the worth skyrockets into the millions. This is why grading services such as PCGS and NGC play a critical role in verifying the authenticity and quality of these coins. A certified high-grade 1983 penny is a prized possession in any collection. The history of the Lincoln cent itself adds more meaning to this story. Introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, the coin was the first U.S. coin to feature the portrait of a real person, breaking the tradition of classical images and allegorical figures. The design by Victor David Brenner became iconic, symbolizing liberty, history, and national pride. Over the decades, the Lincoln cent has undergone design changes and composition adjustments, but it has remained a staple in American currency and a favorite among collectors. The 1983 Liberty 1 cent is part of that rich legacy. It reflects a time of economic change, innovation in minting, and unforeseen errors that later turned into priceless treasures. For coin collectors, this penny represents not just money but a story of transformation, perseverance, and hidden wealth. Think about the journey of such a coin. Minted in Denver in 1983, it may have passed through countless hands, been used to buy candy, newspapers, or groceries, and yet somehow survived decades without being lost or damaged. Today, instead of sitting forgotten in a piggy bank or a drawer, it could command millions of dollars at an international auction. That transformation from a humble cent to a $149 million artifact is what makes this coin so captivating. For anyone watching right now, it is worth remembering that treasures can still be found in everyday life. Checking your loose change, searching through old collections, and paying attention to mint marks and dates could lead to discovering something extraordinary. The 1983 Liberty 1 cent is living proof that even the smallest and simplest objects can carry immense value and history. So the next time you hold a penny, take a closer look. You never know if you might be holding a piece of history that could change your future. And if you ever come across a 1983 Liberty 1 cent in pristine condition, keep it safe, for you may just be holding one of the most valuable coins in the world.